Hello, welcome back to Godly Play, and Happy Easter. We're still continuing with the season Easter. Are you ready? Sitting comfortably, ready to listen? I know I am, and I'm ready to hear more about this story. Let's see what else is in this box. Well, you remember, being the season of Easter, a time of new beginnings and celebration, we are using the color white, which is a symbol of new beginnings. And last time, we talked about the story of the three Marys that went to the tomb and found that Jesus was no longer there. And the story continues about all the new ways that the followers of Jesus are getting to know him in a new way. Shortly after Mary came back and told the story of the empty tomb, two of Jesus' followers decided to go to Emmaus, which is about 7 miles away. They were walking along the road, talking about the many events that had happened recently. The cross, the empty tomb, so much. And as they were talking, a stranger came and joined them. They didn't pay him much mind and continued walking and talking. And the stranger asked them, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "What? Do you not know what has been going on these past few days?" He's like, "No, tell me." They're like, "The cross, the empty tomb, so much." Well, the stranger looked at them and said, "You are foolish and slow of heart. Listen." And he proceeded to open the scriptures to them. He said, "Do you remember when we were trapped in Egypt and Moses led us across the water and into freedom? And do you remember how we were trapped in the desert and God sent us the 10 Commandments to guide us? And do you remember when we were trapped in exile and the prophets told us that a child would come to lead us and that someone would suffer and die in order for us to be truly alive?" Well, they listened as they walked, and soon they arrived in Emmaus, and the stranger was going to move on. But the two followers asked, "Please stay with us." And so he did. And they went to an inn and sat and had supper. And after supper, the stranger picked up a piece of bread and lifted it and gave thanks to God for it and broke it and shared it with the two. And it was in that moment that they knew who he was. And at the same time, he was no longer there. Well, they sat and talked about what had happened. And they thought back about that walk on the road to Emmaus and the stories that he had told. They said to one another, "You know, I felt a burning in my heart. It was as if my heart knew." And they decided they needed to go back to Jerusalem and tell the others what had happened. And so they did. Well, I wonder, what about this new, interesting, mysterious story that you like? I wonder what you like. I wonder what you think is most important. I wonder if you or someone sitting with you maybe has a story to share about a time when their heart knew before their eyes could see or their minds could understand something. I bet there's some pretty interesting stories to hear. And when you're done talking and sharing, take some time to respond to the story through art or an activity. Enjoy thinking about it and dwelling in the mystery of it and wondering in all the ways that you want to wonder. But don't forget your feast. Take some time to share a snack. Enjoy your time together. Give your thanksgivings. Remember the concerns of your heart and lift them up in prayer to God. And know that God's always listening because God loves you so very much. And I'll see you next time, and I'll tell you more of the story.